Apostle Martin Cripps.
Hello.
How are you feeling this evening?
I am well. I bless the Lord. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for the opportunity to have you here once again.
You're very much
It's
welcome.
an honor.
Amen.
So I have known you to be a marketplace minister, and I have seen you ministering to the people in the marketplace and giving advice, giving ways in accordance to the Bible. So allow me dig into that today. And so we're gonna be talking about bargaining in the marketplace.
Okay.
So let me begin by this. Have you bargained before?
I bargain all the time. I bargain whenever I only don't bargain when I'm doing maybe supermarket
Right.
or places where prices have been set, fixed prices. But for other things that we are buying, we have to bargain.
Right.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, what were you bargaining about?
Well, almost everything.
Maybe one instance that you remember quite well.
When I was getting my car, I had to bargain. When I was renting my house, I had to bargain. My business premise, I had to bargain. Purchasing most things that I purchase, sometimes I bargain here and there. Yeah.
Do you have one specific interesting story about bargaining that you were bargaining?
Interesting. None that is very interesting. I think all of them are just bargaining.
Right.
Like the normal bargaining until we get to an acceptable price.
Right.
Yeah.
So were they all a success, as you can remember?
Well, the purpose of bargaining is to come to a place where the buyer and the seller all agree on a specific price, something acceptable for both sides, win-win. So when we say it's a success, it does not really mean that the first price that I mentioned was accepted, but it means we got to a place where we were at equilibrium. It was acceptable for me, it was acceptable for the seller. Or the other way around, places have also sold things, it was acceptable for me, it was acceptable for the buyer. And so we would call that a success in bargaining.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So when we bargain in a marketplace, does it show weakness?
No, bargaining is actually not weakness. You see, every seller wants to sell their goods at the highest price possible.
That's right.
Yeah, to make the highest profit. Every buyer wants to buy goods, quality goods, at the lowest acceptable price, or at the lowest price that makes sense.
Right.
So usually when you enter the market, any market, the seller will always put the highest price, the buyer will always put the lowest price. And the goal is that you want to buy at lowest when you're the buyer. The seller, the goal is that you want to make the most profit. So the objective of the seller here is to make profit, a maximum profit possible, to retain and make the customer feel satisfied,
Right.
you know. At the same time, keep the value of the brand. And lastly, to retain the customer for long-term,
Right.
long-term dealings. The buyer, on the other hand, also wants to achieve his own objectives. One is to save the most amount of money possible, but you also want to get a quality product. So you're bargaining to get a quality product, but at the lowest price. So you want to achieve to save the most amount of money.
Right.
You also want to get the highest quantity at the lowest price. So when these people meet on the market, that's why bargaining happens, so that we come at an acceptable place. Imagine you want to sell something here, someone wants to buy it here.
Right.
It would not be acceptable if there is no room for bargaining. So what bargaining does is it brings you all to an acceptable place for both of you. So it's not a weakness. It's not like you lack money. That's why you bargain.
Right.
You'd be surprised how wealthy people bargain. So it's not that you don't have money. It's not that if you are the seller, then you are unagonga wasi. No, that's not the deal. The deal is just to achieve these things, whether you're the buyer or the seller, the side that you are.
Right.
Yeah.
So I understand understand that from what you just said, bargaining is not limited to finances. You can bargain for quality.
Bargaining is actually not limited for finances. We bargain on terms.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, to meet terms. We bargain on value.
Uh-huh.
We bargain on price.
Right.
So, for example, you're bargaining, you want to purchase a house.
Uh-huh.
Oh, not a house. Probably you want to purchase a television, but not on the supermarket outlets. So you're going to these other vendors. So you purchase a television, and they tell you, we will sell this to you at 55,000. So you're like, no, I want it, I'll offer, let's say, 45,000. And then you bargain and you get to a place where the seller presses you down and says, okay, the best I will take is 53,000. Then you're like, okay, then I'll do 53, but then free delivery. You do free delivery, so make sure you deliver it for free. Now, you see, we've not just bargained on the price, but we have also bargained on the value.
That's right.
The other value I'm adding is the after-sale services. So you might find you've actually saved a lot of money on the value.
Right.
So something you transport and probably it would cost you 8,000 shillings, it ends up costing you nothing, zero on transport, but you also agreed on a specific price. So bargaining touches on pricing, it touches on value, it touches on terms. Yes,
Right.
not just cost.
I love that. I love that. Not just cost. Because most of the times that people talk about bargaining, the first thing that comes in mind is cash. I'm low on cash, right? I'm low on cash. So that's a good point. Thank you so much for that. Just to continue on it. So most times when we are bargaining, how do we manage our emotions? Because I understand it can get quite hot.
That's true.
Yeah.
Whether it's the buyer or the seller, one thing that must be kept, one thing you must take care of is your emotion. Anytime you bargain, this is market strategy. They will use your emotion, whether you are the seller or the buyer. They will use your emotion. So what you do, keep calm, stay natural. Don't go, if you're the buyer, don't go excited. Because the moment you go excited, they know you're hungry for this thing, so you'll get it at any price. People who are going to buy their first car, I pity people that buy their first car. Whenever people buy their first car, those people, always people that buy their first car, huwa wanagongwa kila time. Because you are so excited, like, I really want this thing, so they take advantage of that emotion. Number two, never accept yourself to get worked up. When you get worked up, always the calm person will always win.
Right.
His way always goes, the calm one. So what you do whenever you're going to buy or whenever you're the one selling, take care of your emotions. Be composed. Don't show you are excited. Don't even show you are moved by emotion. No. Keep composed. Keep calm. Mention your price. If you're the buyer, mention the price, your offer. Be quiet. It lets the other person talk a lot. Again, emotion makes people talk too much. Talking too much gives room for someone to identify a weakness and use it when it comes to bargaining. So you find yourself talking too much about a certain product, you might end up spilling too much beans if you are the seller, and you end up selling that thing at a lower cost because you overtalked.
I hear.
So keep your emotions calm. Be collected. If you want to get excited before you get to the market. Once you get to the market, be composed, be calm, and then you can talk like that.
Right. So to bargain, is it the same as to negotiate?
Yes, bargaining is actually a negotiation until you all come to an agreement that's acceptable for both parties.
Right.
So yes, it is the same thing.
So for every bargaining, there are two parties, right?
That's true.
The buyer and the seller. I get that. So, would you mind giving us a few techniques from both parties on how to bargain successfully?
Okay. Who do we start with? The seller.
Right.
If you're the seller, the first thing is you must start at the highest price, but it must not be off the roof. I mean, something acceptable, not extravagant. So you must have a starting price. At the same time, you must establish the lowest price possible that you can sell, the minimum price possible. And how do you identify that? You must look at the cost of the thing. You took it from somewhere, so what is the cost? And then you must look at the what is it called? The operational costs.
All right.
Probably it is something you had to transport, you had to do what, and so the operational costs. And then number 3, you must look at the minimum range. I mean, minimum range between now that cost and the lowest price that you can sell, so that you have an acceptable. If you don't know these things, the buyer will take advantage of you. So you have the highest cost, you have the lowest cost. Number 3, if you are the seller, take advantage of value.
Right.
People don't just buy things for price. They buy things for value.
Right.
So if you can identify, you can capitalize on value, you'll find it is easier to convince a client or a customer to buy something at a high price because of its value. Someone wants to buy a phone, and you're selling it at 50,000 shillings, or let's say 30,000 shillings, and then they want you to sell it to them at 25,000 shillings. At that time, it's a good time to remind them of the value.
Wow.
Now, when they get to know this one is a 256 or 512 GB ROM, it's a 108 megapixel camera, it's AI, whatever, it is this, it is that. Then you tell them that is why its price is like that. You find you tie the buyer. They find I cannot argue with the value between the value and the price that I want to offer. So capitalize on the value. Number 4, don't be quick to send away customers. If you cannot agree on a price, don't just say no. Give an alternative.
Okay.
For example, I want this thing at 1,500.
Right.
And you are selling it at 2,000. And you cannot come to 1,500. Truly, you cannot. It's not acceptable. You can give an offer, another offer, and say, I can give you 2 at 1,800 if you'll buy 2. Just to try and show them another side. You might find they will go for that one.
They're likely to go there.
Yeah. Or say, no, if you buy 3, I'll do it at this. Or you give another offer, an alternative that can make them rethink their, You might find most of them actually take the offers.
Right.
What else for a buyer or for a seller?
Getting know your staff quite well, know
Yes.
the quality in them,
Yes.
and also be a solution giver, right?
And then it is okay to know when to end the bargaining. If the price, they cannot meet the price, don't just say no. You can say something like, I wish I could be able to give you at that price,
Right.
but whenever you're ready. Sometimes when you say that and walk away from an offer, it might actually get you a customer.
Right. I get that.
Yeah, they will feel, oh, well, that is the best that you could do. They might even try to walk away, but you tell them it's okay. If myself, I have had to walk away at some point and then come back to the same place because that looked genuine,
Right.
He said no. He said, I wish you could get down to your cost, but unfortunately, it would not be good for business. So maybe next time. It's okay. Thank you. So that feels genuine, and it might bring you a customer. So that is on the seller side. On the buyer side, one thing buyers don't like is they fear fake. Oh, by the way, on the sellers, buyers fear fake. If you assure them what you're selling is genuine, and that's why its price is high, they will go for it even if they're not sure.
Right, I get that.
I was talking to a certain business person. They were telling me she sells shirts, and there is a particular shirt she was selling at 1,200 shillings, and took to a certain client, and they refused to buy it at 1,200. And then went back, stayed after some time, took the same shirt at 5,000 shillings.
Wow.
They bargained up to around 4,000 and something. But the reason the person bought is she went and convinced the person that this is a good fabric. It's quality. It was the same thing. Now, that's just some trick. Don't ask me whether it's right or not.
Right.
But she was able to sell her product because she knew the brand and the quality. This person only feared to buy fake. So he associated the cost of the thing with the quality.
Right.
But that's for another day. Now, on the buyer side, you have to first set a minimum amount that you're willing to start with bargaining. So you must have minimum, but it must not be mocking. You know, there is a price you say and it's mocking. An offer you give, it's mocking. I'm selling something at 3,000, you're coming with an offer of 500 shillings. Surely it's, you know. So have the lowest. Number two, do your market research before you go to the market. Once you have no information, the seller will take advantage.
Sure.
Because you don't know. You're just going to buy something that have told you it's 5,000. You don't know the price range of that thing in the market. You don't know the market value, the market price of that thing. So you've gone to the market, you don't know the price, but you want to offer. So someone tells you 5,000, you're like, please do for 4,500. And you're like, okay, 4,500, sawa, later. And then you go home and realize that thing costs 2,000 shillings. So do your research, find the price of the thing in the market before you go to give your offer. Come up with the lowest amount, but not mockery, and arrange up to which you can come up to. Yeah. Buyers, please manage your emotion like you asked.
Yes.
It's important to manage your emotion. Don't look too excited. Don't look nervous. Remain calm, composed. Now, when you are giving an offer, mention the offer and keep quiet.
Right.
The quietness makes the seller feel like they need to explain more.
Okay.
Or they need to calm down to meet you. So if someone says something, then you say, oh, I can only offer this amount. Be quiet. Don't overtalk. At that time, they feel like, that silence makes them feel like they need to calm down a bit to meet you. So it's good to use that silence in a good way. And then know when to walk away. Sometimes walking away helps. After you disagree and you walk away, say, okay, I can't do that price, and you're walking away. If this seller has a big margin on his profit, he might call you back and cut down. So walking away is okay. If he lets you go, you just okay. But most of them, if the margin is still acceptable and they can reduce it, they will call you back. Okay, come tuongee basi. Uko na ngapi, unaweza shuka mpaka wapi, you know. So walking away is good for a buyer.
Right.
And yeah, I think that's it for now.
That is not enough actually. But before we end it, so how do you ensure that you don't over bargain for both parties?
Over bargaining, that means you are poor at techniques. Because you also need to know how far you are going or you're willing to go. Yeah. That's why I said it's important you do your research. If you are the buyer, do your research so that you don't end up feeling like you are begging. It's not begging. Bargaining should not look like begging. Don't show desperation by overdoing it. Right. Once you've done your research, you know the price range, you know this thing can come up to this point.
Right.
If it is not acceptable, walk away because you know the price range. But when you overdo it, it makes you look desperate. That means you're not even, you know. For the seller, also know your place, know the margin, the minimum acceptable margin, so that you're also not taken advantage of and you don't overdo it.
Right.
And you must know when to say no, thank you, and walk away. Both as a seller and as a buyer, you must know when to walk away.
Okay.
Sometimes walking away helps.
Right.
So you must know when to walk away so that you don't overdo it.
You don't over bargain.
Yeah.
Right. So finally, maybe an example of a phrase how to walk away politely.
Who now? On which
Both
part?
parties from the
Both parties. I think I gave on the part of the seller.
The seller,
You can say, I wish I was able to meet your price, but that would not be good for my business. Yeah. Ile common yenye watu hutumia nitafunga biashara. Nikikuzia hivyo nitakuwa nimefunga biashara. Sitakuwa hapa kesho. But it must not be emotional. I don't know why some of our people don't know how to do business. It's like now we have a grudge because we've not agreed. No, it should not look like that. It should be respectful, because one of the biggest aims is to keep a long-term relationship with the client. The way you say no, or with the customer, the way you say no can determine whether the customer can come next time, even if they did not buy from you this time. Now, for the buyer also, the most used one is narudi. Narudi, acha niende hivi nakuja. Ama nitakuja kesho. Ama nimeacha pesa mahali fulani. Acha niende pesa, you know. But you can just say, no, thank you. That does not meet my budget. It doesn't meet my budget. And then you walk away. Yeah.
Wow, that was so polite. Thank you so much, sir, for your time.
You're welcome.
We have learned a lot about bargaining.
Oh, great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.